What's up, Bronze Age believers? Welcome to yet another Comic Haul video. After a spontaneous trip to Brandon with members of the Comic Crawl crew, I was able to pick up a little more than 30 books. But which books did I find? What's that, Freddy? Looks like we have ourselves another mystery gang. Alright, Bronze Age believers, let's get into this comic book haul, part of a spur-of-the-moment kind of Saturday out with the Cantonese Comic Kid and Stunning Steve. We were hitting up Read More Comics and our good friend Greg over at Urban Legend Comics, and here were the finds. First up, a little Jim Aparo awesomeness with issue number 164, The Brave and the Bold. Little Hawkman Batman action there, perfect. Near perfection as well, the timeless variant for Captain America, the Ta-Nehisi Coates run of this particular title, issue number 23. Still found that for cover price on the shelf, so that was great. So not a dollar book, but cover price is always great for Alex Ross. Jumping over into Marvel, Defenders issue number 36. So we've still got Sal Buscema on the pencils here. Obviously a little bit of an overwrap and spine roll problem there, but from the dollar bin, you know, what are you going to do? Issue number 38, still Buscema here doing pencils for the book. Little Luke Cage action carrying over from issue 37. So great stuff here in the Bronze era of Mighty Marvel. Still in the Defenders run, Volume 1, Ed Hannigan has taken over the pencils by the time we get up to issue number 58. I think what I like best about so many of the Bronze Age characters in both Marvel and DC is there's a lot of consistency with the characters. Now, Hannigan's Hulk is certainly a little different than Buscema's, and certainly a little different than Trimpe's Hulk here with issue number 72, but there is still a level of consistency across the board with so many of these characters, which I think personally made it so easy for me to grasp onto them, for me to love them growing up, to buy these books, read these books, unfortunately not keep many of these books, but now I'm getting them now and kind of restoring them as part of my collection. And finishing up the letter D, these books are coming at you in alphabetical order. David Michelini's Doorway to Nightmare, him doing the writing here. A lot of great pencils and artwork from this particular series. The first appearance of Madame Xanadu in issue number 1. This happens to be issue number 2. David Michelini, which you may or may not know, among his credits include creating both Venom and Carnage for Marvel. All right, alphabetically, we're moving on to the letter F and the Fury of Firestorm. Jerry Conway's writing the book at this point, and I'm just a few books away from finishing this run that span both the Bronze and the Copper Age. House of Mystery, issue number 281, a little banged up, a dollar bin book, but when you find a Jim Starlin cover, you're not going to pass that up, and I did not. Astonishing Tales, issue number 16, featuring Kazar. I've just about wrapped up my volume 3 run of Kazar, and found this one in a dollar bin. Rich Buckler doing the pencils on this particular book, and I mean, Buckler, that resume, bouncing back and forth between Marvel and DC, I don't know if there's a character he hasn't drawn for the big two. Speaking of big books, Legends, and Legends doing the writing and the drawing. My gosh, Ostrander, Len Wein, John Byrne, and of course the big red cheese on the cover, my main man Shazam. I'm sure you like that one over there, buddy, don't you? Yeah, right? Okay. This is issue number 5 of that 6-issue series. Hopping over to Mighty Marvel once again, the Marvel 2-in-1. I've grown fond of these covers, and talk about a pedigree here of people drawing this book. In this particular issue here, 17, we've got Buscema back on the pencils, and you're going to see as we go through here, these are some of the books I found as I've decided to start collecting this particular run. I didn't collect it as a kid, but I've really kind of come around to it. This is issue number 32 here. I believe this is the 3rd appearance of the Spider-Woman, so prior to the solo title for Jessica Drew. Great artwork here as we go from Buscema to Marv Wolfman doing the writing, and we've got John Byrne coming up doing the pencils. So a lot of great things. Ernie Chan doing this particular issue here for number 36. with Mr. Fantastic and a lovely pterodactyl, and of course the Thing. So this is one of my favorite covers that I've picked up lately. It's just wonderful. Love Ernie Chan, his stuff with Conan, and his work here in Marvel 2-in-1 is immaculate. John Byrne, what are you going to say? I mean, this guy has such a rich history with Ben Grimm and The Thing, and he does both the story and the artwork here in the issue number 50 here of this particular title, which goes 100 issues before it wraps up. All right, moving on up just a little bit into the letter M and the Master of Kung Fu, Shang-Chi if you're nasty, from the 70s, but you know, it is what it is, folks. Doug Mensch wrote a lot of these particular books back in the day, and we've got a nice little run that I started with this a little while ago. This is issue 36, still Doug Mensch writing the story. I'm a big fan of these, I don't know what you want to call it, Kung Fu pajamas. I was a little disappointed we didn't get to see them in the movie, but I suppose that's not very 21st century. It may be a little stereotypical, so it's perhaps why they kind of veered away from that. But Mike Zeck is one of my favorite artists, and he picks up the book a little bit later on in the run, and those are some of my favorite books with the Master of Kung Fu. Skipping out of order here because I've got a long run of ROM I'm going to share with you. We're over here with issue number 329, Herb Trimpe doing the pencils, and a beautiful Ed Hannigan cover. Again, another dollar bin find, just fantastic stuff. I gave this one a press, and it came out looking really, really sweet. And then finally, cover price again, not dollar book, so we're talking the $4 range. This is Giant Size X-Men #1, who knows of what volume, because they, you know, crank out X-Men books like the Dickens. And this is the timeless variant of Aurora Storm. Alex Ross doing the painted cover here, just beautiful work. I'm a little bit late to the party with the timeless covers, but I'm going to try to find as many of these as I can as I'm making my way around cons and various LCS stores. All right, Bronze Age believers, we're going to wrap up this particular comic book haul with a run of ROM the Space Knight, beginning here with issue number 5. Now, in the Bronze Age of comics, it was pretty commonplace for either action figures and toys to be made into comics, or vice versa, comic books made into toys and other licensed properties. This was, of course, the boom time for Mego superheroes, and ROM was a property of Hasbro that Marvel made into a comic book. This is issue 19 right here. A lot of great covers throughout this particular run. Al Milgrom did some covers. Bill Mantlo, issue 36 here. Bill Mantlo wrote nearly the entire run of ROM the Space Knight for Marvel, which lasted pretty much the latter part and conclusion of the Bronze Age. There's issue number 42. And Sal Buscema did most of the interior pencils on a lot of these books. So we've got issue 45 here. There were a lot of team-ups too throughout the years, from 79 to 86, in which ROM was on the newsstand shelves. Issue 46 and issue 47 here. So ROM was with Doctor Strange. He was with the X-Men. There was appearances by the Living Tribunal, and of course ROM has his own little history of stuff too. Issue number 48 there, and of course here's our seminal issue number 50, a little scroll action there on the cover. So you do see a lot of the Marvel mainstays working their way into this particular comic, even though it was created and owned by an outside property other than Marvel. All right, moving right along with ROM, we've got issue number 52, a Bill Sienkiewicz cover there, still Buscema on the inside. Here we've got issue number 57, issue number 64, issue 67, issue 68, issue number 70, and like I said, ROM wraps up with issue number 75. Issue number 71. I got into this title a few months back. I remember seeing it on the shelves, obviously, but I've got an affinity for robots and machine mechanized things. So in issue number 73 of ROM. So I've got well over half of this run just by picking things up in dollar bins. I don't think I've paid more than $1 for an issue of ROM, and I'm enjoying collecting this run. The bulk of these covers are amazing, and of course Buscema with the pencils, and Bill Mantlo doing the story for nearly the entire run has such a great sense of continuity. I'm looking forward to sitting down and reading this entire run once I have it complete. I've just kind of cherry-picked and read things along the way, but I'm looking forward to having a full read of Rom the Space Knight. And that's going to do it for this comic haul. Thanks to Greg over at Urban Legend Comics and Scott over at Read More Comics. Both of those LCS shops are in Brandon, Florida, so if you live in and around that area, please give them your patronage. They are tremendous individuals and have wonderful shops right here on this side of the state of Florida. Thanks for watching, everybody. Of course, like, subscribe, do your due diligence there, and always, always keep Bronze Age believing, comic fans.